American Redak was cheeky though. Something happened. I think American Redak got told off because I did see him upload a video about Joe List and Kerry Feehan, and I think he titled it something along the lines of like Kerry's gonna cause Joe List's divorce. Because if you know the law of listening to Joe List podcast, which is Choosable Stories with Mark Normand, you would know that Joe List has always, from the beginning of time, had an incredibly hard on for what's her name, Kerry Feehan, the comedian. He's always loved her, and I think they kind of have like a mutual kind of banter and shit between them. Obviously, Joe List is married to another woman who isn't Kerry, but it's been an ongoing joke, like, have they ever, will they ever, blah blah blah. So I can imagine how happy probably she is, you know, at the news. But anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Mark Normand's problem with Eric Andre. Kelsey American Redak. Let's go.
What is our guest? An hour late now? This is impressive.
I had a similar thing. We were doing the other pod, me and Sam, and the producer goes, the guest just said he's going to be, do you mind if he's an hour late? And I go, that's a full pod.
Right.
It can't be an hour late. And I go, he said, do you mind? So I was like, tell him we mind.
Yes.
You asked. And he goes, all right. Okay, he said he can do a half hour late. Is that okay? And I'm like, I guess it's better than an hour, but I'm like, what do you mean is it okay? You're late.
What's a white Negroni? It's got tequila in it?
Oh,
It's
shit.
on time is what it is. All right.
All right, so just a few days ago, Eric Andre appeared as a guest on Mark Normand and Sam Morrill's We Might Be Drunk podcast. And the whole thing was pretty awkward. Like, as you just saw in the opening clip there, Eric Andre appeared about an hour late to the scheduled meeting time for the podcast. And before he showed up, Mark and Sam had their producer text him that they did in fact mind that he was going to be an hour.
By the way, big up Mark Normand for the joke, by the way. Big up Mark Normand, because that's the kind of thing that you sometimes wish you did yourself. There are occasions in life where you have like this brief encounter with somebody in the street, maybe a little altercation, and you wish you said something. You wish you would have said this, you wish you would have said that. And we've all had those instances. And Mark actually did the thing. He said the thing that he wanted to say, that he would have kicked himself for not saying, but he said it in the person's face. What is that Negroni? Oh, it's a Negroni for people that get home on time. Do you have a little joke? But like, you know, you set pace straight away. Like, you let the guy know, nah, you took the piss. Like, big up Mark Normand.
Hour late. So even before Eric came, the energy felt pretty off. And for the portion of the podcast that Andre missed out on, Mark Normand and Sam Morrill were already visibly disappointed with Andre.
What is our guest? An hour late now? This is
told you.
impressive.
Well, I think he'll have some guilt on the way in, and that'll.
Hold on. Josie. Are we let slip on YKWD? They have an open marriage, or she is at least allowed to fuck who she wants. Who are you talking about? Joe List? Is Joe List allowed to fuck? Is Joe List's wife allowed to fuck who she wants? They have some sort of relationship. Huh? Yep, Ari fucked Sarah when they all went camping, and Ari told Bobby Kelly on the no. Who's Ari? Who's Sarah? Who's Sarah? Is Sarah Joe List's wife? Your fellow comedian fucking your wife because you've got an open relationship is it's a bit too close to home, innit? If you got an open relationship, I don't want to know the person. I don't want them to be like in my friendship group. But maybe that's all part of the. Oh yeah, Sarah. He always mentions her. My bad. Maybe that's all part of the lifestyle. Maybe the lifestyle being an open relationship is that the people that you fuck are people within your little bubble. They're people within your circle of familiarity. Maybe it's not advantageous if you have an open relationship to be inviting randoms into that circle, because then that person could just disappear or fall in love with somebody else maybe. By the way, isn't Ari meant to be married soon? Isn't Ari engaged? These guys are living some interesting lives, isn't it? At that age, like at that stage in life. I don't know about you, guys, but the older I'm getting, or just in general, just life is going by, I think if you're a dude that's out here running and gunning and sucking and fucking, enjoy yourself. If you're single, do it. Have a blast. But I don't know, man. I think if you've got a person, just hold on to your person. I'm kind of going that way because everybody's into this fucking polyamory open relationship shit. I would much rather go the opposite because it just seems like a headache. Really, it just seems like a headache. It seems unnecessary, and I don't know. I don't think I'm really that horny. Everyone has their needs and stuff, but I don't think I'm that horny to be needing to have an open relationship like that. Having my actual person and having other people within that circle that I can kind of blow my fucking load on. I don't think it's that deep really, but hey, everyone's got their thing and everyone's got their thing.
I would love some guilt because it's bad when you fix the guest a drink and the ice is melting.
Oh,
not a great sign. I feel like I got stood up on a date here. What do you drink? I'll be there. Will you?
We should do ice cream next time. And when he shows up, that shit's a puddle. You go, hey, we tried to give you ice cream.
But finally, after about 30 minutes of Mark and Sam going back and forth without Eric Andre present for the show, he finally showed up. And it wasn't quite the Eric Andre that Mark Normand was expecting. Like, I think he was anticipating Andre to be the crazy character everyone loved him as on his hit TV show back in the day, The Eric Andre Show. But the Eric Andre they got was like the real-life, chill version of him now, who's in his 40s, doesn't really drink anymore, doesn't even do stand-up comedy anymore, and really just focuses on keeping...
So it's their fault then. Why did they get him as a guest? He doesn't do stand-up, he doesn't drink, he's on some chill shit. Why did they get him as a guest? This whole entire pod's about them drinking, no? He's it's like, what?
Things like his insomnia under control. And Mark and Sam brought this up to Eric, and might I add, the most awkward way possible.
This is the first drink I've had in a long time.
How the hell did
Really?
you sell that?
You
here?
quit comedy, you quit alcohol. What are you still
I
doing?
didn't really drink. I didn't really quit alcohol. I'm just fucking
trying to
my
puff
old
you.
jeans.
Yeah.
No, puffs me up.
Oh, puffs.
No, I'm feeling puffy.
I'm puffed up.
All right, this is the juice.
I want to fit, and I want to fit my old jeans.
All right.
You can cut the tension with a knife between him and Mark Normand, though. Mark Normand looks very awkward. He's not really making a lot of eye contact. He does, don't get me wrong, he struggles with eye contact anyway, but Eric is staring at him deeply, and Mark is like not staring at him, Look. Very interesting atmosphere in that studio.
Well, how the hell?
Slide in those old fucking Wranglers.
Well, the sweatpants will help.
No, the sweatpants is because I fucking...
Well, you look
drink.
fine.
I just lost 30 pounds.
Whoa!
Really?
Ozempic?
Manjaro.
So Andre wasn't quite doing the song and dance that Mark Normand was hoping for. And I don't know if you guys heard it in the clip or not, but Mark actually mishears Andre saying that alcohol puffs his face up, thinking that he was saying that it pumps him up. With Mark saying, well, we're trying to pump you up.
Puffs me up, man. I'm trying to fucking
trying
fit
to
my
pump
old
you.
jeans.
We're trying to my old jeans.
Yeah.
No, puffs me up.
Oh, puffs.
And Mark actually spoke more about his issue with this on the other podcast he does with his underling, Joe List, mentioning his disappointment with Eric Andre's deflated spirit during their show together.
We had him on the pod, the drunk pod. I'm like, Eric Andre, we got broken, what do you call those, breakaway glasses? We were all prepared because we're like, he's a crazy, wild guy. Sam hit me with the breakaway glass. He's like, geez, what are you doing? And I'm like, you're the guy. You're Eric Andre.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, you want a drink? You crazy, wild dude? He's like, oh, I'm off the drink. If I have one sip of alcohol, I can't sleep at night. He's like, I'm off caffeine. I'm like, what are you, crazy? It was like a...
I don't know if this is his fault. I'm not gonna lie. This sounds like a you problem, bro. You had a lot of expectations coming into that interview. He didn't meet them. Like, you built him up in your head a certain way. If Eric Andre is a legit comedian who's running in those circles, why didn't you know how he is? You should have had an idea of what he's like behind the scenes. You should have had an idea of like what he's like now at his stage of his life. He's obviously made some changes to his lifestyle, whatever it may be, and he's looking better for it. He said he lost 30 pounds, even if it is with fucking Manjaro. Like, I don't really think this is an Eric Andre problem. This sounds like more like a you problem. Maybe Mark Normand really looks up to Eric Andre. Maybe Eric Andre is like Mark Normand, the North Star. So he was a bit gutted that he met his hero and he was number one super late and he didn't really look like he was up for any kind of falling around or tomfoolery. But I don't think Eric Andre did anything wrong. I'm not going to lie. I think this is more of a Mark issue.
Evil Knievel being in a wheelchair.
Interesting.
It was kind of a bummer.
But even though Eric Andre is crazy...
Yeah, big up Ason. He expected the character. That's a problem, though. like, I don't know. I don't really watch much. I didn't really watch Eric Andre the show anyway. I know I'm familiar with the guy, but has he ever been the character off mic, or has it always been a on camera character? People, let me know in the stream chat. Has Eric Andre always been as crazy off the show as he is on the show? I don't think so. I think the whole thing is like it's a character he plays on the show. Why would you think he would be the same character off the show?
Crazy Side didn't make an appearance on their podcast. I think whatever Mark was doing
Powerful
just made it
bunch.
worse.
Yo, big up JE for life. Appreciate you, brother. Big up JE for life. What a G. Appreciate you. Big up JU for life. What a fucking G. Thank you for the fucking gifted membership bomb. You're an absolute G. Big up 6 months. Damn, what's a long time. Hope to see the end of the marathon before the 6 months. That would be embarrassing if I'm on like day 3, innit? If I'm on like day 3 in fucking August.
Powerful bunch.
Big up JE for life. You're a legend. Thank you for this membership bomb, bro. Big up JE for life. You're a legend. Thank you for the membership bomb. You're a fucking G.
As he seemed to upset Andre with some of the questions in the beginning of the show. Because it seemed
Powerful
as if Mark
bunch.
Norman was just bringing up things Eric Andre was known for from over 10 years ago. And on top of that, he got some of the details of those old...
It's been 10 years since the show's been on. What? When did the
Powerful bunch.
Eric Andre show last air? What's he been doing since then? Wow, I didn't know it's been off for air for 10 years. No way, it can't have been on that long. Okay, it premiered.
Powerful bunch.
Okay, cool. The last season was 2023. Oh, okay. It premiered in 2012, but it finished in 2023. I'm about to say, I thought it was like, what? Like, it didn't finish that long ago. But what's he been doing
Powerful
since then? I wonder.
bunch.
Okay. Interesting. Big up Jay for life. You're a legend. Appreciate you. Let me get the video back on here. Where is it? There you go.
old events wrong. Like when Mark brought up Eric's old relationships with actress Rosario
Powerful
Dawson
bunch.
and IG model Amber Rose,
You
which
telling
Eric
me
seemed
Tom
not
Cruise
too pleased
isn't a
to...
secret agent?
Oh, sorry. Big up SLC. Apologies for that one. Let me play it one more time. Apologies.
Powerful bunch.
You telling me Tom Cruise isn't a secret agent? Big up SLC.
to be revisiting.
With him and his son.
Hell yeah. He was on time for that one. No one has taken more black people to the promised land. Pat Riley.
I just rewatched that special.
That's great.
That's a great fucking
How
special.
the Knicks doing?
Knicks are, as of today, we're going tonight.
We're going
we're
tonight,
still
baby.
in it. We're still alive, baby.
We're in the nosebleed, but
You
we're
want me to
going.
move my shit out of
No.
the frame?
You're
It's too
good.
much.
You're good. What brings you back to the big app?
I never wanted to be in LA for so long. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. I kept getting sucked back in.
But you got to bang Rosario Dawson, so I would move out there for that.
That was 10 years ago, and that was here.
Oh, shit.
New York's better, baby.
New York.
What about Amber Rose?
It's tough though, isn't it? It's like I don't blame I don't know how to say this. Those types of jokes are tough though, because some guys don't take those type of jokes. You know, like, does it make sense? Some guys don't take those type of jokes well. Some guys just don't take those well. If their relationship ended well or not, they just see it a little bit weird. Like, why are you talking about my, like, why is she on your mind? You know? Some guys don't take that type of, some guys will take that joke well and will know what you kind of mean. Rosario Dawson is a well-known actor and very attractive. Most men are kind of into her and whatever, and will see it as a compliment. But some guys will see it as like, why do you have her on your mind? You know? That was kind of awkward. I don't think he liked that. I don't think Eric Andre liked that at all.
You want to talk about my love life?
Sure. You got a good piece.
Let's fucking put
You
it
didn't
all out on
lube
the
him up
table.
at all. You just went right in.
You went right into my love life?
We go way
Finish
back.
that. Finish that.
Oh, look how red he is. Oh, bless Mark Normand, man. Bless him. Look how red he got. Look how red he is. Look how red he is. Look how red Mark Normand is. Oh, bless him. Bless him, bro. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. Eric Andre really put him on fucking attention. Like, what? You want to talk about my love life now? Is that what you want? You want to talk about my dick? You want to talk about my dick? Is that what I came here for? Is this fucking T-Fat K or something? I thought this was Are We Drunk? This isn't the Fire and the Kid, right? Why are you talking about my dick then?
You married.
Yeah.
So your love life.
Eric also didn't really like the fact that Mark Norman kept bringing up his old jokes that he used to tell on stage when he was still an active stand-up comedian. Because if you're not caught up with the current Eric Andre in 2025, he actually quit stand-up comedy, with the last time he performed
Oh, so he's got a lot of common. Brendan Schaub, doesn't it? Big up. Eric Andre and Brendan Schaub have a lot in common there.
on stage being in 2020. So for him, it's been over for a while now. And it seems like he would have rather spoken about his current endeavors instead, which is more so in television and podcasting. But being that Mark Normand and Sam Morril make their living from stand-up comedy, of course they're still going to ask him about it, which turned out exactly as you'd expect.
Yeah, what are you working on? You got a pod?
All right, I guess that's.
Look at the heavy pause that they have. Look at the heavy pause that they have there. They are drinking as much as possible to make this episode bearable, like, so it's not as uncomfortable as it is there. And then Eric is just like, probably pretty sober. Maybe he's had one drink, and he's definitely not feeling those guys. They're definitely not his friends. This is so awkward. To be fair, this is actually quite refreshing. I do prefer this sort of stuff than the whole like pretending we're all friends, pretending we're the best of friends, and we're having the greatest time, and we're doing the same comedy, and yay, Joe Rogan, LA Comedy Store, The Laugh Factory. It's actually kind of nice that they're having, this is like a normal human interaction where sometimes it doesn't go well. I like this. I actually like this. I'm not going to say I actually like this. It's very awkward, but it's very real.
We're out of time. I'm an hour.
Yeah, we'll show your dates.
Yeah. I'm playing at the Chuckle Factory in Coyote Bladder, Mississippi.
That's a good one.
Doing stand-up?
Yeah, that's one of the
I'm
best.
not doing stand-up anymore. I haven't done stand-up since 2020, like right before COVID.
Jesus Christ. You'd think if you're a fan of him, you'd know that though, isn't it? It's a little bit embarrassing on their side. If Mark is meant to be this like big Eric Andre fan, and he's you're known to be like, he was taking the piss saying, oh my god, he wasn't wacky, he wasn't this, he was a bit boring. If he's known to be the wacky guy to you, you should have also done a quick Google before he arrived and just kind of find out where his mind state is at the moment, because his state of mind is, because he's clearly not that same guy he was, back then. But it seems like Mark wants that guy.
COVID. I filmed my Netflix special. I edited it. February 2020, delivered it, and then COVID hit, and then people were like, "We'll do stand up on Zoom." I was like, "I'm not fucking doing stand up on Zoom."
We're shaking our heads, but we did it.
And then
A lot of it.
I taped a special on Zoom. It was terrible.
for me, I keep it clean. I only do
Me too.
clean material.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. Never did one dirty joke.
I know your whole act. Baconator, the Anthony Bourdain.
Oh my God, those jokes are from 15 years ago.
Well, you were making
You're in
it.
a fucking fog.
I remember everything.
Do you get mad when people remember the really old shit?
Well, he hasn't written anything
No,
new.
I haven't written anything since. That's all it is.
Oh.
Cheers.
I kind of quit.
Toast.
Oh, these
You
are
show me naked
Eric,
up on
get
the
in there.
thing. You guys are fucking distracting.
We're very distracting.
Cheers. What did you?
So yeah, the show was slightly awkward,
Fucking
but since
hell.
I am personally trying to beat the reaching allegations, I'm not going to paint this like Eric hates.
Hey, he made a reference to it because I said American Redact made a video talking about Joe List and Carrie Feehan, however you fucking say her name, the woman with the OnlyFans, and she does stand up as well, the dark haired lady. And he basically was insinuating that Kerry's gonna break up Mark Normand's marriage because they're clearly fucking and da-da-da, not knowing that it's like a running bit that they got, that Joe List is like in love with Kerry. But now I've learned, courtesy of Joseph in Stream Chat, that maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe Joe List has a loose boundaries marriage that may allow him to kind of get up to some fun stuff. So maybe American Redact wasn't reaching after all. Maybe he wasn't reaching after all.
It's these two guys, or like there's any underlying beef going on here. I think the hosts of the show were slightly annoyed with Eric Andre, his timeliness, and his slouchy vibe, and as professional touring comics would, they made jokes about him being late, which at that point sort of fell flat.
What's a white Negroni? It's got tequila in it?
Oh,
It's
shit.
on time, is what it is. All right.
Hello.
But yeah,
And I think Eric Andre was actually somewhat unimpressed with Mark Normand's interview questions, since they were mostly focused on when he peaked in Hollywood with the Eric Andre Show, which might I remind you premiered in May of 2012, an entire 13 years ago.
how the hell did you sell the Eric Andre show? How do you do that? The show's wacky. You're falling through a table.
Well,
You're
everybody
naked.
passed. Everybody passed except Adult Swim. So it wasn't like it wasn't selling like hotcakes. There wasn't a bidding war.
Yeah.
But Adult Swim they were looking for a talk show at the time because they hadn't had Space Ghost on the air for a while. So
Oh yeah.
So I made like a little demo reel with Hannibal in this like shitty abandoned bodega in Bushwick or Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
Rat's Nest.
So the entire mixture
Come on, man. You can't blame Eric Andre for this interview at all. I think Mark Normand probably got his feelings hurt because somebody that he kind of likes from afar, like, and maybe he's using a little hyperbole, right? In terms of, I'm a big Eric Andre fan. No, you might just like him creatively, right? You might like what he represents, you know, that kind of loose, say what you want, do what you want energy, the chaos of it all, and you want to maybe kind of take a bit of that and put it in his act. But I don't think it means he's like this big Eric Andre fan, because he doesn't really know anything about the guy. Because if you're a fan of somebody, I think you kind of understand their personality a little bit, you know? You kind of get what makes them tick. So you would know that he wouldn't really enjoy being asked questions about a show that he did like 13 years ago, especially if he's trying to reinvent himself, especially if he's trying to refine that magic that made Eric Andre's show so good. Maybe he has some sort of resentment about how it ended. Maybe he's pissed off that he can't essentially put that lightning back into the bottle again and do it again with another show. So if you're a fan, you would be attuned of that. You'd kind of understand, okay, cool, you know? So this is less to do with Eric Andre being late and Eric Andre being boring, and more to do with these motherfuckers drinking too much and not preparing any questions, not doing the basic Googles, not listening to maybe a couple of recent interviews with Eric Andre and other platforms to kind of judge where he's at in his head. You know, they did nothing, and then they complained that Eric Andre was late. Come on, bro. You guys didn't do that much, really. Big up Joe. Imagine AZ talking like that, making random show. Big up Joe. Big up Joe in the stream chat too.
of attitude, expectation, and timing sort of clashed between the three of these guys.
Oh, big up Josie. Okay, my husband heard the podcast American Redact is referencing, and even he said, "Are they banging?" Okay, cool. So there was some sort of vibe. There was some sort of sexual tension in the air between them. Okay, good to know.
Which made for a slightly awkward podcast in some moments of the show. And towards the end, when they finally brought up a current endeavor Eric Andre is focused on right now, which is his podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, it almost seemed to be brought up in the conversation.
Hold on. Eric Andre is a bit of a fucking mad guy though, isn't it, right? He doesn't want to talk about stand-up comedy, but then he's got a show called Eric Andre, Bombing with Eric Andre, which probably the clue is in the name. Most likely this is a show where he talks to comedians about the worst bombs they've ever had. Right? So he doesn't want to talk about stand-up because he's quit, but then he's got a show that talks about stand-up. Okay.
Podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, it almost seemed to be brought up in the conversation too late, and Eric was once again sort of defeated at the notion of having the two of them on as...
Yeah, big up Jack Donny Jr. Story Wars with Kerry? Yeah, bro, that's your second wife. Okay, cool. Okay. Joe List out here running and macking.
guests.
If you agree, stare at me blankly. Thank you.
So good.
He was great. We'll get him
Funny.
on here one day.
Funny.
Or if we need a lawyer.
Well, dude, you got
lawyer.
you got the new pod, Eric Andre podcast.
Yeah, you guys got to come on.
I'd love to.
Come on. We shoot up the street.
Well, we had some good bombing stories here.
Yeah,
So that was a little
I gotta think of a better one if I come on. But so you talk about your worst bomb.
Oh, he didn't laugh at all, did he? That Mark Norman joke was kind of funny, right? We got some good bombing stories from this episode, and Eric Andre didn't laugh. He didn't say anything. This is tense. This is awkward. This is very. But I wonder if Eric Andre is also doing this on purpose. He's also letting them sit in this awkwardness. He's not saying it's fine. He's not saying any filler words, any comfort words. He's just allowing the awkwardness to just sit right there in that room.
I just have guests come on and just say, "What's the shittiest show you ever did?" I guess you don't have to come on anymore.
No.
I have others. Trust me.
Okay,
We got
good.
a million.
And more, and potentially more to come.
That's true.
Potentially more to come.
Many.
That's true.
So you just do the cell. The cellar's the only good place to do
No,
it.
there's other
Comedy
good
club's getting
places.
good.
Yeah, those good spots.
But by far the most awkward moment of the podcast actually came at the very end, which happened when Mark asked Eric advice for writing a movie. And after about an hour of feeling like a lesser stand-up comedian in comparison to the two of these guys, this was finally a field that Eric undeniably had more experience in than Mark and Sam. Since Eric has been in that very industry for the entirety of his career post The Eric Andre Show. I mean, he's been a voice actor for a slew of huge box office animated movies, and he's even written some comedy movies. So after hearing that these two wanted some advice, Eric Andre simply tells Mark Normand and Sam Morrill to educate themselves before taking on such a huge task, to which Normand and Morrill seemed sort of defensive about.
Well, any advice for we wrote a movie, and I think we're making some headway on
and we
it.
got a director in the
That's our
back
director right there.
Jonah.
I know it's fucking production hell. You got to just keep pitching it. You got to go to meetings.
These comedians, man, they just can't stay in their lane, innit? Like, everyone wants to get into movies. Everyone wants to be a fucking TV star. Everyone wants to be a fucking Hollywood movie star. Hollywood's literally crumbling, right? Hollywood, the institution of Hollywood is crumbling. The gatekeepers are slowly but surely losing their power or their grip on society and whatever else it may be. This is the time to actually go ahead and do your own thing and double down on it. Whether it's self-funding something, whether it's rating, whatever you have to do. Do you know what I mean? Just this is the time to actually do that and double down super hard. But instead, there are some people out there who are just, who are still trying to hold on to the golden days, the good old days, when Hollywood was Hollywood, which is, again, still bizarre, but I guess it is what it is.
What do you mean his story? He just said Netflix bought it immediately.
Oh, yeah, good point.
No, my thing took 8 years. Netflix didn't buy it immediately.
Oh,
That's
never
what I'm
mind.
saying.
No. We were in the doldrums for fucking almost a decade.
We'll figure it out.
What-
Nightmare.
What's the move? Just do it yourself, or?
Well, what's the question?
Well, the
I'll
question
give you
is,
my.
God almighty. These guys do not mix well, man. This is like fucking oil and water shit. They do not blend. They do not blend at all.
My advice.
ourselves.
I'm not
we've
fucking
never
J.J.
sold a
Abrams.
movie. We've never written a movie before, so we're in the dark here.
I think it's a pretty funny
Well,
It's very
read.
funny.
Well, educate yourself. Take screenwriting class,
Well, we finished the script.
and that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
read Save the Cat.
Read it.
Robert
Read
McKee,
it.
read all that shit.
Sure.
You gotta educate yourself.
We've-
Find a coach. Find a script writing coach that you trust.
Well, we wrote with two other writers who have.
Fucking hell, bro. Fucking, do you have any advice? Go educate yourself. You got Google, right? You got a smartphone. I don't know. Google it, innit? Find out. Eric Andre is a legend, honestly. Eric Andre is a legend.
Experience with it.
Yeah, and then the story.
At the end of the day, though, this podcast was less of a train wreck and more of a missed connection. You had two.
Yeah, he's right. It wasn't really a misconnection. It really was a misconnection, but God Almighty, mate, Eric Andre. I think he sensed the tension. There's probably a reason why he was an hour late. To be fair as well. To be fair to him. At least this is something I'm gonna say. Let's go back to the beginning. They got pissed off because Eric Andre was an hour late. right? He said he was already late before when the show started. This is going to be an hour, and they got pissed off because they wanted to obviously speak to him, but they also thought it was disrespectful, like as if he's like taking the piss on purpose. Like, hey, I'm going to take as long as I want. I'll get them later to happen. I wonder if that was what he was also pissed off about. I'm not too sure, but I love that how in like a true comedian, he managed to somehow get himself, how can I say, back in control of the conversation. He came into it at a disadvantage because he turned up late, but he still somehow at the end of the flipping show he was at an advantage. He played them pretty well. I'm not going to lie. You have to big up fucking Eric Andre.
The day, though, this podcast was less of a train wreck and more of a missed connection. You had two stand-up purists hoping...
Big up Josie. It feels like he was late for whatever reason. They felt big timed and then they took it out on him once he got exactly. That's a brilliantly put. I was going to say that, but I think I was also going to add, like, I think they took the lateness thing, like, not even like a big time thing. I think Eric Andre was also annoyed that they were annoyed that he was late, because I think, in that kind of world of being a comedian, whatever, doing that kind of job, there's probably, they kind of know things kind of pop up out of the blue. You have to do other things. Maybe you got audition, maybe you got reading, maybe you got this, maybe you got that. So he probably would have hoped for a better understanding from people who work in the industry, basically, right? Fellow DJs. We thought, you know what? These guys will get what I mean about being late, so they're not going to be super harsh. But obviously it didn't work out that way.
To vibe with the unhinged shock comedy persona of Eric Andre, and what they got instead was a more grounded, introspective version of the man. And I
also think it was a little bit entitled as well, to be demanding that he arrives at a certain time. I don't know, sit there and record anyway, whatever he's doing. What? But I felt the whole like, oh yeah, you have to be here at a certain time thing to be fucking super strange, in my humble opinion. Again, what do I know? And that's about it, right? We finished that one. Big up American Reader. That's pretty good. That was a pretty good one, actually. Big up American Reader, because I definitely want to check that out. I definitely want to watch that. So big up American Good. Fucking good. Really, really fucking good. Big up American Reader. And big up Blood Clot Eric Andre too. I'm a big fan of Eric Andre now. Big up Younger Vibes. This pod is straight dookie. He showed up. They are pissed about it when went on for hours. Aki Z. Humdrum. I think Sam might be the meanest conversation start to make money most of the time, becoming insufferable things. Yeah, true. That's true. Sorry, Humdrum says, I kind of like Sam, but her moment, these are cool. Joe says, who funds all these guys? Jack Tony Jr., I guess I find scheduling strange. Strange, what's that? I guess scheduling is strange. Oh, okay. Big John, sorry. Jack Tony Jr., sorry, I'm literally fucking having trouble reading what you're saying, because it sounds like a diss. It sounds like a fucking sneak diss, so I think my brain's having a hard time trying to read it, right? Let's read it one more time. We got Jack Tony Jr. I guess finding scheduling strange is on brand for AZ, unlike the rest of the world. Okay, fair. Touche, sir. Touche. Touche. It's a diss. It's not a sneak diss. Okay, you got Jack Tony Jr. I'm not sneaking. It's a diss. Trust me. Okay. Noted, my kind sir. Noted, my kind sir.